Welcome back, everyone. Today we are here for more Halloween Horror Nights updates. Now, yes, I did take a little break. Nothing happened on Sunday, and then yesterday they were so small, I was like, I'm not gonna make a full video out of it. But today we have a ton more. We have more food booths, more decorations being added, more stuff here to the front scare zone. We actually have a good video for you guys here today, a full-length feature film here for Halloween Horror Nights updates. Either way, thank you guys so much for hitting 7,000 subscribers way before opening night. Seriously, thank you so much. That's so awesome. At this point, if you don't mind, consider subscribing to the channel. I guess let's just see where we can get at this point. I know a lot of you guys have been telling me you think it's gonna be 8K. I genuinely don't think it's gonna be quite there. It'd be cool, but it's another like 900 or so to get through. But yeah, just thank you again so much. It's super cool that you guys have been so supportive, and honestly, just like being part of this journey is just awesome to me. But either way, let's get inside, let's get checked in. I wanna show you some stuff. Entry scare zone already has some stuff as we are walking into the park. You're going to see lots of stuff happening. Sting Alley, I also saw we have some food booth action happening over there, or at least a tent. So yeah, I think you guys are gonna like today's update. Before we even get into the park, look at that. We have the speakers right there that will be pointing out as you walk in. I don't think the sign will go there, though. I think it's gonna go on the next one. I don't know though, but we do have our speakers that will be pointing out, playing that loud music, whatever that's gonna be this year. Excited to see what the soundtrack they're using is this year, actually. Now, as soon as you get in, you can see these big arches here, basically half arches that are now attached to this entry scare zone, and they are also on that side as they come up the top. So it's definitely starting to come together even more here. Again, they put it like right in between like these here. There was kind of like that black piece here, and I was like, that's kind of bizarre. And that's why, because they had this piece here that actually just slid right on top. Looks really good though. I'm super excited. I wonder if anything's gonna be hanging across. I'm also gonna point this out early just so you guys can see. Can you see that light right there? Just shining out this direction. About right here, right next to these garbages to my left, that is when I am like most blind by it. So right here, if you guys stand here, you'll see what I'm talking about. Also, I had some fun guest appearances over this past week, so we're gonna see what ends up coming out. I just finished up recording on the Fear and Beer podcast. We did something yesterday. It was like a fantasy draft for an HHN event. You guys will have to check that out. Let me know what you guys think when that does release. I think it comes out like next week or maybe Sunday. I don't know, in the future at some point here. But also, I was here last week, and one of the like social media people was walking around, and they were like looking for people to take photos for their social media, just kind of like adding fun stuff. And they were like, yeah, it should be posted like on like, you know, social media pages. So there's a chance I might pop up on Instagram or Facebook or I don't know, wherever they end up posting it, or if they even take the photo. But yeah, I took one and I had to sign a little release, so maybe you guys will see me there too. Fun little things. And as we are entering in, it does look like this seems to be the same. I say that a lot of times, but it's like sometimes they add just a little bit here and there. Again, completely grown over at this point, but there is actually a few things to cover here inside of Hollywood today. It does look like they added a few plants around the fog machine for right now. I know that they were testing the lights on these at nighttime. Like if you come here as the park is closing, you can actually see them testing the lights. Also, on the storms. Hopefully we can dodge that today. Now this has been added. So here's the thing. We know that this is those champagne bottles or martini glasses, whatever, but now it looks like there is a skull of some sort up there. You can almost see the shape of the nose on the top there. So it does look like they have added what seems to be a head. At least that's what I'm seeing here. And then also right here, you can see something on the chair. Don't know what it is. It looks like it's probably going to be a human of sorts. Do they not have a head on this one? I don't know. Is it on here? I don't think so, because it does look like they have like a rounded top there, so I do think that there is a head. But yeah, they've now covered this up. So as we predicted, something went on top up there. We just don't totally know, but I mean, tell me that's not a skull. They have also added lighting down here. Can you see that? Like all those strips? So it looks like some LED strips have been added. Coming over to this last one, it looks like we have probably a body hanging over the edge here too, to some extent. I don't know what it's gonna do. Maybe there's gonna be a trigger and it's gonna end up kind of coming out, but you can see it looks like it is kneeling down, or again, something happened. Actually, you can get kind of a side profile right there, but we're not gonna go digging too deep right there. But yes, we have one more that has been put in over here. So a lot more things covered up right now as we are just a few weeks away from opening night. I'm gonna check quickly on that merchandise, and again, if you guys go over to All Hallows Eve Boutique, they have like everything over there and in stock, multiple sizes. Over here, I have noticed a lot of things are still sold out. So if you guys are looking for the merchandise and you can't find it before the event, and you want it before the event and you don't see it over here, head over to Islands and go to All Hallows. I've seen everything over there. So we do have pretty much all sizes here for the long sleeve Wyatt 6 shirt. When it comes to the sizing on the short sleeve Wyatt 6, it looks like we have extra small up to medium. Again, one large here. So they are stocking it a little bit more here. But again, I would definitely go to All Hallows. All right, and then everything else looks to be pretty much normally stocked. So it still seems like that Wyatt 6 shirt is the one that is hard to come by. But again, not if you go over to Islands. Either way, let's continue on. We also do have a video coming out for some kind of tips and tricks for the event, kind of like how to optimize your time here. And Nicole is in that video. It's just taking me a long time to edit. We filmed it, I think, Sunday, and I did a lot of editing on Sunday, did a lot of editing yesterday. I'll probably still edit again more today. It'll probably come out, my guess is by the end of the week. It might be like a Sunday video since there's no updates on Sunday. I don't know yet, but just so you guys are aware, that video will be coming out hopefully pretty soon. And she is in that one, but unfortunately, like I said, it's just taking a little while to get it edited. It's a little bit more produced, if you will. These are kind of like on the fly. With those, it's like, well, we had things we want to talk about. So still kind of like off the cuff a little bit, but it's like, you know, we had points that we wanted to point out. No food booths yet for Battery Park, still waiting for those to pop up. My guess is probably by the end of this week. Let's head into 9 Crooked Lane. Now we are going to head probably straight to the back. As I'm already seeing, none of the trees with the pumpkins are hooked up still. They do have the front ones hooked up. We have these giant zip ties. Can you see them right here? Look at how big those are. You can see they're like doubled up there to make sure that they fit around. So they are still testing these front ones, it looks like, but all the other ones don't seem to be hooked up yet. We do have some milk out here as well. I was surprised to see more milk pop up. There's some over there. So it's not just the ones that are over in that little like tunnel over there, but you can see more milk. Milk vlog. Just so you guys are aware, there are little things that are happening. You know, we have the shoe over here, like haven't seen this one. This looks like a onesie piece back here. There's like a ball and a bucket back there, some leaves. So there are a few little things. I'm just not pointing them out as much just because like there's so many little things that I'd have to go back and be like, was this different or, you know, organized differently? Even like this little shelf of things here. They just change things around, kind of minute details that they might want to like have exposed more than another. But we're gonna come back here to go take a look. One thing that has happened over the weekend, I think yesterday, they have now added these curtains here instead of those sheets. So this is more of a boo hole with kind of that like weird shrubbery, almost like ghillie suit style right there. So now all of the windows are properly exposed for their scares. Now, I'm sure you guys can see there's a ton of greenery that has been added to the house here. Even up top, you can see some vines on the rooftop over there. So it looks like they have really been putting in more work into the cat lady house here. But again, I mean, you can see all of the vines running up, all of the pillars here. You have some grass out front as well. Looks like we have a new mask. I don't think this was here last time actually, but yes, lots of grass, lots of vines all the way around. Also, it helps out right here because this was so barren. They already had things in front, but it is nice to have, again, like the vines coming down the side. And you can completely see everything now is pretty much covered. They still might add a few more, but honestly, this is a ton of vine work, so I expect this is going to be probably close to what is being done. And even on this side, you can see, again, more vines all the way wrapped around, covering the speaker box here. This is unique. I feel like this is the only type of plant we see here. That one there. But again, all the way, you can see the vine work. So they have really done a good job covering this up. Also, you can no longer see in the window here. They've now put a sheet over that. We are actually going to go this way for just a second because we are going to wrap around something new added over here. And there it is. Let's go get a front-facing view. But yes, we are blocked out from the back. You can't really see in because we have food booths here. So now you can see underneath, we have 2 food booths ready to go. It looks like these are going to be generic based on the theme, just kind of a conservatory vibe here. You can see the vines wrapped up all around here. I actually really like this inside. I wonder if they'll do any vines up top as well. But you can see the vines wrapped around the menu here. all underneath, and then you kind of have like the gate in back inside of, again, like the brickwork. So I think this is gonna look actually pretty good. I do think it's going to be generic, however, but you know what? They're starting to work on it, and for that, I appreciate it. Now, no prepping stations back here yet. Again, I'm guessing over the next week and a half, we'll start to see, you know, the fryers and the drink things, coolers, whatever. Everything will start to pop up. There are also some lights back there, you can see right there. So they are kind of keeping things going right now. But again, I mean, this is a nice big set piece that they put in place for the food booth. And like I said, the vines look really well done. I think it fits this area really good. Now, if you guys don't mind, if you're having a good time with me here today, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps out a ton, lets YouTube know that people like this type of content. But what I do need to do is insert a clip that I took last week, but I forgot to put it in the video. They put a giant tent up by like Gulkin and Fallout, like those tent houses. And it's a giant tent the same size as those two tents. I don't think we're getting like another house or anything, but I'll show it to you now. I'll insert that clip for you. So if we look over here, we're gonna have the Fallout house right there. Gulkin is right, kind of, you can see the edge on the edge of the dollhouse, but they just added what looks to be a giant tent, additional now, kind of where the queue goes. Got to keep an eye on that, I guess. I'm not sure if we're getting a bar over here, but nothing has been going on over there. No like bar tables, nothing getting shifted around. So I'm not sure we're getting one or not, but I would have assumed we would have. But as of now, still nothing going on back there. Take a look at this. The bridge seems to have been completed on the base floor. So it looks like they're gonna have to put some railings up. And you can see they are all stationed out there right now. They do have the one over the actual like kind of bridge hump there, but everything else looks to be stationed in place. So we are getting pretty far here. I think again, maybe a week and a half on this. I mean, I'd assume this could be done pretty quick. So I am excited to see they have done a lot of work on the bridge. So I just took a look at the rumored to be Hatchet and Chain's house over there, and it's honestly looking super good. I think it's going to be quite the hit with the facade. But I was just thinking too, we typically do like a hype list every year. I know a lot of people do. Are you guys interested in seeing like what we're most anticipated between Nicole and I? I thought of one fun way to do it. I'm not gonna really explain it here because then it would ruin kind of the surprise to it. If you guys wanna see like a hype list and kind of see where our head is at for like our most anticipated houses for the year, let us know and we'll make a video on that. Otherwise, maybe we'll just kind of like rank them later on. But it is something we've kind of talked a little bit about, but we don't know each other's lists like at all. And that would be part of the video, is like not knowing each other's lists, and it would kind of like play into it a little bit. Okay, I have to speak on something. First of all, nothing looks to be happening with what seems to be probably a Jason food booth. But I just walked by the bathroom and it smelled like the Exorcist house from a few years ago when you first walked in. Do any of you guys remember that smell? That is what it smelled like over there, like almost like rotting flowers or something. It was so bizarre. Also, there's nothing going on inside. I tried to see, there's no like coolers, anything cooking or anything yet, so they haven't really prepped any of those zones yet. Still just like the facades for the food booths. The real question is though, what's gonna finish first? The bathroom or the bridge? My guess is the bridge at this point, because it feels like it's almost done. And I feel like this has been almost done for like a month now. So I'm putting my money on the bridge. You can hear them, they're still chopping something up. Does look like the siding is pretty much all finished though, but there is still stuff happening. Also, as I mentioned, there is a chance that these daily updates do slow. Again, we weren't here yesterday because I just want to make sure that there's enough for you guys. I don't want to just release a video and then you guys are like, oh, that's all the same stuff. At this point, I am making sure that there's enough here to give you guys these updates, which again is why today there's so much to cover, because they at least did quite a bit between yesterday and the weekend. So we are looking pretty good. But just so you guys are aware, we might be going to 2 or 3 days between updates, depending on how long it takes. Again, we have other videos that are coming out along the way here too, but just so you guys are aware, as things slow down, I know I've mentioned it, but I just want to kind of repeat that. We are starting to slow a little bit, as you can see. Nicole and I also tried Richter. We tried that new cereal milkshake and the new burger that they had. Both of them, fantastic. Spoiler, we have stuff coming out based on that, but oh my gosh, they were so good. Now, if you come down here into Sting Alley, look at what we see here. So we have a tent here, which typically is what they do, and then they'll put the facade over this tent. I've seen them do that quite a bit here. So I think we will have a food booth in here. What will it be? I have no idea. And it is completely empty in there, by the way. This is like open. and there's nothing in there. It's just the tent piece right now. But they could be putting a food booth here. They usually put kind of the structure in place, and then they'll ultimately put something over it to give you the food booth facade. So keep an eye on this. Hopefully we'll have something here over the next week. This is kind of the last spot we're waiting for to get decorated through, but this is typically the most immersive out of all of them. They have also now started to aim the barrels out a little bit more. This one was definitely tucked away. That one was kind of sideways. Now they are facing forward, which I'm still interested to see what goes on here, because I don't know if they're gonna be putting like a screen. There's doors to like go up back there, so I don't know what they're doing with this stage. You can see more BuzzCon barrels now appearing inside of this scare zone as well. So now we have another BuzzCon barrel on display over here. Sahara Traders is all closed off. The Mummy is closed for the day. You cannot get inside of Sahara Traders right now. They said it might be up tomorrow, so we might be back here taking a nice little update inside, but you can't even get inside the store right now. It is completely closed off. The Mummy is closed. It's happening, guys. Over here on the police car, it looks like they have now added lights up top, giving it that police vibe. It no longer just says police. We do have some lights, but take a look at this. Look at the florist. Looks great. We finally have some plants in here. Now, all these plants are alive. Are we gonna have some plants that are not alive or like decayed? All of these though, however, are looking vibrant. Really brings it to life, right? Like the florist booth was so like, I don't know, decayed. Now you have the actual flowers and again, looks good. But again, I wanna see what happens here with that decay. As you can see, they left these ports open right there and right over here. So I wonder if they're gonna add some kind of extra work here for that toxic decay. I think we also have more barrels, right? I think there was only like 6 or 4 before. Now we have 8 up here. We have also added lighting underneath the truck there. So that should be either put up somewhere or maybe that's the spot and it's gonna be kind of like strobing out from underneath, but a ton of electrical back there as well. We have also covered up the windows here, which makes me think something is going to be going on inside. Unless that's just condensation, because we have gotten a lot of storms, but I think that's covered. That's too thick for just condensation, I would imagine. So we might start to see something pop up here at some point, but you can see it's kind of like fogged out. So keep an eye on this one too. Let's check in on our food booths over here. I don't think anything new has been added or subtracted. Looks to be pretty much the same. Yeah, they might have just put some more of these bushes and like plants up here, but overall I think this is pretty much ready to go. We're just waiting for food menus at this point. Now again, I know some people said that we got them early and we didn't. I'm pretty sure we get them like the week of. It comes really, really late. They put them in place. It's typically near when the tribute store comes out. So if they come earlier, great, we'll definitely cover it. But I don't think we're gonna get them until like that week leading up until HHN. They will sometimes release like a few of the items you might see, and maybe that's what people are thinking of, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, you know, we're getting like this item, or take a look at this, and they'll tease things, but they won't give you like the full menus, I don't think, until like that week of, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the only time they ever released like a lot of information was when they did that like Taste of Fear thing a few years back, where you could like pay to like try some of the food, and they released a lot more at that point because it was like, you know, earlier in advance. But I think as of now, we're probably not gonna get the food booth menu items until closer to like the week of. We are just about done, but you can see back here by the extended queue, they have removed the railings here. So we'll start to probably see the bar and like food booth things pop up right here. And that will be kind of the sign that we are getting real close. But yeah, they have removed this. This is all cleared out now. Now I can get a little bit of a closer look here now that the rain is not here today. But you can see this is the food booth that we kind of briefly covered last time. Also didn't see they had like the gate railing stuff up top there, but no vines with this one, which I'd be surprised if they don't add it at some point, but we'll keep an eye on it. I imagine at some point they'll go ahead and add the vine work here at some point again, but yes, this definitely looks like the one that we've had in years past. We've had it for a few years. I've seen it over on the bridge more often than not. Next week, Rip Ride will not be going all week long because it will be closed starting, I think, Monday. So I think the last day you can get a ride in is on Sunday. We're gonna have a video saying goodbye to Rip Ride here at some point over the next week. But yes, it will be going away, unfortunately. An iconic ride, but a rough ride. You know, I feel like people love it, but you know, they love to hate it too, and it's got a mixed bag of emotions from people. I do not think anything new has been happening in the entry scare zone here for the Origins of Horror, but I will take a look. Well, not a total update, but you can see that they have been angling the lights there. So that one is like angling up, that one's kind of down. So it looks like they're toying with the lights. You can see that light right there is pointing right down at the stained glass, and all of them have at least one light pointing straight at the stained glass. So I'm gonna guess that the light is gonna come through and beam in to kind of like have a reflection on the ground. Also, I'm sure a lot of you guys know by this point, but they did name all the houses this year based on flowers. And if I'm not mistaken, all of the flowers displayed here on the stained glass all pertain to the houses and kind of the nicknames that they gave them, which is always kind of fun to see that they put those little like Easter eggs in when you don't even realize. Now, not in today's video, but I am going to be talking about this area right here and the potential importance that it plays this year. We'll probably do that in the next video or the video after, depending on how things are getting announced from Universal, but this is about to be a pretty interesting spot. Let's finish up with a quick look at the construction happening on Rip Ride. It looks like they have a lot of movement, so they are getting ready, especially if it is closing here in just a few days. They've got all the cranes out there doing stuff, and they have it up on the dirt. Isn't that crazy? I'd be so nervous that it would like tip backwards, but they are removing the dirt again. It feels like they kind of like take it down, put it back, and take it down again. So I don't know what they're doing over there, honestly. All right, my friends, we are all done with our Halloween Horror Nights updates. How are we feeling? We're getting close. I think today, so like the 12th or something. I think yesterday also they just did some extra media stuff for Horrors Unleashed. If you guys are interested in seeing that Vegas experience, I think you're gonna start to see some of those videos pop up. But yeah, overall, I mean, we are like what, like 2 weeks away, 2 weeks and a few days from opening night. Like we are very close at this point. So yeah, like I said, probably not too many other big updates coming, but we'll see. Again, we still have to finalize some of these food booths. We got to see a few more little details in some of the scare zones, but we're close. Like at this point, like we are very close. I'm super excited for it. Hopefully you guys had fun with me here at Universal Studios for another Halloween Horror Nights update. We'll be back again this week, whether it's tomorrow or Thursday. We will be back for you guys, covering everything when it does release, and hopefully we start to see what that last food booth in Sting Alley is. I am excited to see what they do there, because again, that's my favorite one, like every year. They theme it up super well, so I'm hoping that it really delivers again this year, especially with the IPs that we have. Either way, thank you guys again for hanging out with me today, and thank you guys so much for being here.